Feed, an undead horror, features the vocal talents of Kim White as the narrator, Lola Organa as Kaylee, Anthony Hahn as Isaac, and myself, Mark K. Gamiao, as Uncle John. This podcast will be enhanced by sound effects and ambient music to create an immersive atmosphere. Please enjoy.
Chapter 7, Unexpected Visitors. John.
I was dreaming. Kaylee and I were at the Clear Spring Convention Center, sitting in the main events room. My niece talked excitedly of the new IPs from industry giants such as Ground One, Kane Concepts, and Bad Cat Studio. The one title we most anticipated was All That Remains. It's a game where humanity is systematically wiped out by an alien incursion, and it's up to a brave group of soldiers and civilians working together to prevent their extinction. The promotional artwork for the aliens looked eerily familiar. The dreamscape changed, and I found myself standing in the Saberstrike arena. I saw Kaylee cheering me on in the audience. She wore a gold medal around her neck and held a huge trophy. Helping her carry that beast was Isaac, wearing the silver. I gave a brief nod to her and turned to salute my opponent. What the fuck? It's that truck driver from the highway. The fight officials signaled the start of the match and the truck driver dashed forward. I'm too slow. His attack gets past my guard and hits me in the shoulder and thigh. I collapse to the ground and start shaking. That's not right. The suits are not meant to deliver a static charge when hit. Then the whole place starts shaking. We're caught in a earthquake, I yelled, startling my niece as she shook me awake. She puts a finger to her lip, telling me to be quiet. She tells me Isaac saw movement in the house next to us. I look over at the kid as he peeks out the window blinds. The sun has already come up. The storm abated. I nod and grab my Bakken, then join Isaac at the window. Sure enough, I can see someone, several summons actually, moving through the kitchen. Isaac apologizes, saying he didn't see or hear them enter on account of the storm. There's no telling if our unexpected neighbors are humans like us or those things. Well, only one way to find out, I say. Better to be safe than sorry.
Kaylee.
I watch Uncle John and Isaac open the door and slip under the boards. I wanted to go with them, but my uncle insisted that I stay behind. Said that someone needed to let them back in the house in case they needed to retreat. Even Isaac agreed. Why couldn't he stay back? Well, there's no use arguing about it, seeing as they already had crossed into the yard of the other house. I see them cautiously peering into the windows, then disappear around the corner. Seconds pass, and my anxiety grew the longer I didn't hear any kind of commotion. I couldn't see anyone inside the house. Where were they? Did they get to my uncle and Isaac? Were they... Holy fucking shit! I nearly shit my pants when I hear someone knocking on the front door again. Has to be a living, breathing human being, right? Those creatures didn't look like they have the common decency to go knocking on someone's door. Or speak. Hello? An older male voice calls out. Is anyone in there? Hello? Oh, fuck. What do I do? Where's Uncle John? Why aren't they back yet? I grab a shinai and get low, crawling to the lowest slat of the window blinds near the door. Standing outside was a man around my uncle's age, possibly older. He wore a police uniform that was covered in blood. He looked tired, and I noticed his pistol still in its holster. Please, the man continued, if you can hear me, do you have any food or water to spare? We'd much appreciate it. We? The man steps back and beckons to 3 people hiding around the corner. It's a woman, a boy, and a girl around 8 and 12 years old. They all look in better shape than the officer. Then I see a dark shadow bounding behind the kids, and I almost scream, thinking it's one of the creatures. But it's a... Puppy? Okay, so the fully grown adult-sized German Shepherd Husky mix looks more like a wolf, but I call every goodest boy and girl puppy. The dog stayed near the children, eyes and ears alert for possible danger. I hear the girl say, "Here, Shadow, that's my good boy." The woman nudges the officer away, believing no one to be in the house, when Shadow's ears go flat, teeth bared in a low growl. I look in the direction that has the dog agitated and see Uncle John and Isaac emerge from the front yard of the other house. Both sides faced each other, unsure of how to approach. The officer looked as if he was going to draw his gun, but Shadow sniffed the air once and whined. Tail wagging happily, he trotted over to Uncle John, sniffed his hand, then immediately flopped onto his back for belly rubs. With the tension gone, the officer relaxes and extends a hand in greeting. He laughs, saying that they both had the same idea to investigate the neighbors. The officer introduces himself as Emerson. The lady with him is Erin, and her two kids, Sydney and Alex. Shadow had gone from belly rubs to trying to hump Isaac, and the kids were rolling with laughter. I couldn't help it. I burst out laughing too, and all eyes immediately turned to the window. I peeked out, waved a sheepish hello, and opened the door to allow Uncle John, Isaac, and our new guests inside.
John.
Once we got everyone settled in and bellies filled with the last of our rations, Emerson, Aaron, and I retired to the kitchen, or what's left of it since we had ransacked it for parts. Kaylee and Isaac, with Shadow in tow, went into the living room to entertain the kids with stories of their exploits in heavy metal. Apparently, the kids were avid gamers themselves. Sydney could not take her eyes off my niece. Apparently, meeting the legendary K-Bear was a dream come true, adding that Kaylee was prettier in person than she imagined. Isaac pretends to complain that Kaylee has more fans even though he is the number one ranked player. Alex said it was because he was a cheater and a hacker, and that his gamer tag should be Iseki Sosaki. Everyone laughed at that remark, including Isaac. Emerson caught me staring. "This butt ain't mine," he said. "My partner, Polly, and I were at the site of a traffic accident. One of the drivers, the trucker, was screaming that he was hungry, then went batshit crazy and lunged at Polly, chewing off a piece of his face. I tried to pull him off, but the guy was incredibly strong. Even the guy's friend and the other driver jumped in to help. And then he attacked them." Emerson took a moment to drink from his water bottle before continuing. "Polly didn't make it, but before he died, he was able to shoot the assailant." "What about the others?" I asked. "Bleeding from where the trucker had bit them. Other than that, they seemed fine. Then they got hungry," I finished for him. Emerson nodded. "It was happening all around me. People started running and screaming, but it wasn't just from the other people. There were these things, these creatures, that tore through the civilians. With no backup on the way, it was just me. So I drove off. I'm an officer of the law, damn it. I'm supposed to serve and protect." Emerson chokes on his words, unable to continue. Aaron pats his shoulder reassuringly. "You saved me and my family," she said, then turns to me. "A few days ago, my husband had come home from work after some lunatic bit him. Didn't think nothing of it either, but Shadow started acting strangely around Eric. They were inseparable when he was just a pup, but now he started growling at my husband. When Eric tried to take a bite out of Alex, I knew something was horribly wrong. Then my neighbor started screaming, so something was really wrong. I took the kids and fled to the only place I knew would be relatively vacant." Erin spread her arms to indicate this house. Actually, the entire area. "I'm one of the representatives for Crescent Hill. We got as far as Pike Road where my car stalled. That's where Emerson found us." Seeing as how they were honest and forthcoming with their tragic tales, I decided we'd do the same. With a nod of her head, Kaylee and I recounted our encounter with the monsters and how we got here. Isaac was surprised that Jake and Kira weren't our real names, and that I was her uncle. Still, he understood our deception and glad that he gained our trust. Thank you. You have been listening to Feed, an undead horror, featuring the vocal talents of Kim White as the narrator, Lola Organa as Kaylee, Anthony Hahn as Isaac, and myself, Marque Gamiao, as Uncle John. Please like and subscribe for updates on the latest episodes. Until then, be safe, my friends.